market, there are other options, and the backup has been temporary foreign workers. Well, those visa programs remain backlogged. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Virginia Beach.
A couple in Kansas is happy to be together after a tornado ripped through their wedding day plans. Allison and Sam Lubers had wrapped up their ceremony when the tornado rolled through Marysville. Their venue was just a few hundred yards from this lumber store that was hit hard by the twister. Family and friends were in the venue when the damage was happening, so everybody was okay, but it made for a wedding day the Lubers will certainly never forget.
It'll be unbelievable to look back, tell our grandkids, tell our kids, tell anybody that we went through a tornado on our wedding day.
It is definitely a wedding that everyone will remember, and everyone keeps coming up and telling us that, and it will be something special, but again, glad everyone is safe and sound.
Yeah, the couple took shelter at the bride's mom's house while the storm passed.
It's just fun to be thinking about meeting these group that shows up to interview them. Do you stick around for a little bit?
I would hope they're invited, yeah, to eat some of that. And
They just talked about it.
If it happens anywhere, Kansas would be the state that it happens, I would think. Something like that. It was bound to happen anyway. Now, at least our weather didn't get too crazy tonight. We saw a few severe thunderstorm warnings, which brought some down. I think there was a downed tree and then also some localized flooding. But thankfully, all we're seeing now are some showers up to the north, just out of the viewing area. Now, I think we'll continue to see a few showers. Here's a time lapse of the last 12 hours. Started off quiet this morning, and then you had some showers moving in this afternoon. Then by the evening, this little cluster of storms moved through. So here's what we're looking at now. You can see showers up toward the north, just out of the viewing area. There's Wapakoneta, and then you get just north of Auglaize County, and that's where we're seeing some of the shower activity. Now, nothing too crazy. It looks like there are a few heavier pockets in there, in the yellow and the orange, but other than that, it's pretty quiet. Now, the little cluster of storms that moved through this afternoon and evening started off in Mercer County, and so it knocked a tree down there across 707, and now I can't remember the name of the road. I think it was Now Road up there. Also, as it moved a little bit farther toward the southeast, you saw some heavy rain and some localized flooding. And I already mentioned the impacts from the storm a little bit earlier in Clark County. Now, as we move into the rest of the evening, a few stray showers are possible, but you definitely are looking at some clearer skies than what we had earlier. There is still some cloud cover across the region, and then we'll see the chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow. Beyond those thunderstorms tomorrow, we're going to be looking at heat. Some places are already seeing the heat. Now, the Lone Star State, way down there in Texas, they had heat advisories in place. They're not looking at it anymore, at least across the whole state, but there's definitely still a few in a few areas. Now, you take a look at the orange, those are heat advisories, and you go one step above that, and you start to get to these excessive heat warnings. So that's really in southern Illinois, western Kentucky, kind of getting close to Paducah or Metropolis, Illinois, and then also in southeastern Missouri. But notice how close it is to Ohio. You don't have to go that far before you start getting into these areas that are under a heat advisory. I would not be surprised if we saw some heat advisories across our region for this week, as temperatures are expected to get into the 90s and then heat indices above that. Temperatures now in the low 70s. Looks like Troy 69, Urbana 68, so we're cooling off a little bit. We'll be a little bit milder than where we were the last couple nights, though. And here are the temperatures in the middle part of the week, 96, 95, 92. Plus, you have to talk about the humidity. Now, dew points tell us how much moisture is actually in the air. Relative humidity jumps up and down. In fact, tomorrow morning, if you have fog in your region, it'll be 100% humid. Now, it's not going to feel very muggy, it's just going to look foggy. That's why we look at the dew point. And dew points right now are getting close to miserable. We're almost there, and as we move into the latter part of the week, I think we will feel like that, because you can see the mugginess coming in across the Midwest thanks to winds out of the southwest bringing in all that moisture all the way from the Gulf of Mexico. And when you add that to the heat, it's going to feel like probably 106 Tuesday, 105 Friday. So not only is it hot, but it's humid. So when you sweat, your sweat doesn't evaporate. The moisture has enough air. It doesn't need your sweat. And so it just stays on you, and you're going to feel a lot hotter than the actual temperature. Let's take a look at the rainfall tonight, though. You can see a few lingering sprinkles still, but then some patchy fog perhaps in the morning. As we move into the afternoon, you'll start to see some showers and thunderstorms bubbling up. And then later in the evening, you'll see this big wave of showers and thunderstorms coming through. And with that, we do have a chance for an isolated strong storm or two. The best chance of that is going to be in the northern part of the viewing area, in the yellow, but everywhere could at least see a strong storm. Now, if we take a look beyond that, Tuesday and Wednesday, it's looking sunnier, highs in the mid-90s, and then cooling off a little bit toward the weekend. Not by a lot, though.
Millions in renovations are coming to Welcome Stadium here in Dayton. Why some people who practice here say the upgrades are long overdue.